The Mount Moon Review podcast, while a podcast about Pokemon, is not intended for children. You can expect some instances of adult humor, coarse language, and adult situations. Parental discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 51 of the Mount Moon Review podcast, the only podcast whose raid battles won't crash your stream. I am your host, the Razgrees, with my co-host, the Blue Duck Gold Duck, bringing you all the information you need to know about the world of Pokemon that's happened in the last week, and actually, in this case, just over the last week, in about an hour. Whew, this has been an exciting week for both of us, Duck.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say exciting. Maybe boring for me.
Well, it was exciting for me in a little bit because I started getting text messages, and I'm starting to try to do a diagnosis over the freaking Facebook of broken limbs. What the hell did you do?
Okay, so my dog got out, right? The door didn't shut right behind me like it normally does. I took the door off, by the way. It's broken.
Yeah, it is now.
My dog got out, and I was chasing him through the neighborhood. And as I'm running, I slip, I was running from grass onto pavement. So I guess I put my foot down too far, like I was going in grass, and I just started to stumble. I flipped over my wrist. Like all the weight came down on my forearm, and then I flipped completely over back into running. I didn't even miss a step.
I would have kind of liked to have seen that.
I'm sure it looked pretty cool. Somebody yelled, "Are you okay?" in the distance.
You're like, okay.
Yeah. Well, no, it didn't hurt. Like, I had adrenaline all the way till I got my dog back inside, and then I get in the car and try to turn the key, and I'm like, oh no, I can't. Can't do it.
But the good news is your arm isn't actually broken.
It was not broken. It wasn't even really. They didn't even call it a sprain. I apparently got a deep bruise in the bone.
You're making that up.
See, I know it. I know what it sounds like. I had to explain this to my boss.
Who sent your butt home?
Yeah, I thought he'd make fun of me for taking off the whole week. Like, the doctor recommended a whole week off, and I'm like,
she told you 2 weeks.
Yeah,
she told you 2.
Well, he called me today and told me that he found some light duty for me to do for the following week.
So at least you have that.
Yeah.
So I had an exciting week too.
Oh, what happened to you this week?
Something magical.
Okay.
I completed the Pokedex finally.
Oh, yeah.
I finally completed my Sword and Shield Pokedex and the Isle of Armor. So I got my certificates, my digital certificates, and I posted them on Twitter. And all you people could do is throw shade. About time. Welcome to the club. I didn't care about it.
I remember when you were telling me about some of the stuff. I'm like, yeah, I don't remember when I did it. It was so long ago.
Yeah, bite me. Just bite me. All right, so it's not a huge news week, which we thought it would be because you went and bruised your bone and couldn't do the recording on Monday, so we pushed it back to Thursday, which we had been talking about doing anyway, moving our record day to Thursdays. So it just kind of like, God's will. So here we are on Thursday. We're doing a recording, so we figured we'd have a virtual cornucopia of news to go over, and unfortunately, it's really not a whole lot.
Yeah, I wish there would have been more news, but I mean, we're bringing to you what we can bring to you.
Indeed. So where do you want to start at? VGC, TCG? Where are we at?
Well, it's not really. I guess it's kind of all encompassing news today. There's not really categories. Well, so let's just start with the Pokemon Direct that happened last Wednesday.
Pokemon Direct, subtitled "Why Bother?"
Yeah, so everybody was expecting. I remember I spent quite a lengthy amount of time last week trying to predict what it was gonna be, and I was thinking it was Let's Go Johto remakes.
Yeah, that was kind of like the consensus. It was going to Let's Go Johto or whatever we're going to call it. And yeah, that's definitely not the case. We did get an announcement of a new game,
Pokemon Unite.
also known as League of Legends Reskinned.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like there was going to be different mechanics going on, but it's real close to League of Legends. It's each team has 5 players, and they all, I don't know if they pick a Pokemon or they get assigned a random Pokemon.
You pick. It says you pick.
Oh, okay, so then you pick. But then can 2 people on, like, can I have a Charizard and the person on the other team has a Charizard?
Dude, I've never played League of Legends. I don't know how.
Can we all have Charizard?
Probably not.
I've never played League of Legends either, but I've watched some of the matches, like, to see what it was all about, and I know that players could like ban certain characters from their opponent's team, like, you guys can't use this character. But there's also like 50 characters or 100 characters. I don't know. There's a lot more characters.
The game's been around for a minute, but so is Pokemon. So we have a huge cast of characters to choose from. So
looked like it might just be 10 to start.
Why do you just gotta like crap on me like that?
I'm just giving the facts. It'll be awesome when there's more Pokemon.
All right, you keep giving the facts. Go on, more facts. Come on, fact boy.
So it looked like there was only 10.
Looks like. That's not a fact. That's an opinion.
I'm saying the fact is that's what it looked like. So as you're playing, you're going to be knocking out wild Pokemon, and you get like experience points and stuff as you do that, and then you can eventually evolve your Pokemon if it evolves. We saw Snorlax, which obviously won't evolve, and then we saw like, the Kanto starters and like Machamp in there, and they were all evolving throughout the
Did you have like a leprechaun in there with you or something?
No, because
it's awfully interesting. You keep looking down. Or is there something going on in your lap that I should know about?
No.
I mean, I know somebody walked in the room, so I don't know what's going on over there. But there is a disclaimer at the beginning of the podcast saying that the podcast isn't intended for younger audiences, but it's also not intended for mature audiences either. There, Duck. So let's make sure we keep it PG, okay?
Oh, it's PG. Above the desk.
Right.
I'm just kidding. Now I'm in trouble.
Well, thanks for watching the Mount Moon Review podcast. This is our last episode.
So yeah, it's Pokemon League of Legends. Team battle. You got to try to like capture a map before your opponent's team does. And that's not what the fans were expecting, and they're not happy about it.
Are they unhappy because of what the game is? Are they unhappy because it's not what they expected? I think it's just because it's not what they expected.
Yeah, like, I don't see why you would be upset that they're making this game. Like,
okay, it exists. If you don't want to play it, here's a great idea, folks. Don't download it.
Yeah. It's not like this is through another, like a third party, so it's not like it's taking development time away from the next like main series game.
Oh, it's almost like Game Freak is forcing, or Pokemon Company's forcing me to play this game. You don't have to play it. If you don't like it, don't be throwing shade on it. Just, okay, well, that's something I'm not interested in. I'll move on. I'm not interested in Pokemon Snap, folks.
Oh, I can't wait.
You go right ahead. I hope you enjoy it. Just like I hope you enjoyed the dungeon game.
Mystery Dungeon.
Mystery Dungeon. I didn't play it. It didn't interest me.
And you know what? I am excited, and I probably will try Pokemon Unite. I think it'd be pretty awesome if, to try to get in on the, day one on this game and try to start making some content and be one of the people that sticks with it and,
Oh, I mean, I'm definitely going to try it. And if I don't like it, I'll just move on.
Yeah, that's all. It's free.
I mean, that's the other thing, too. I mean, it's going to be free to start.
Hmm.
So you could play it if you like it and you want to throw some shekels at it. Throw some shekels at it. I've done that with certain games. Hell, I've done it with PTCGO. I've had to go out and buy stupid code cards so I could pay exorbitant rates for cards that, whatever, regardless. And I've had games that I've paid a pittance for and then thrown some money at them for DLC because I enjoyed the game. No one forced me to do this.
Right. It it actually ended up, the direct video actually ended up being the most disliked video in Nintendo's history.
Which, again, I don't think it's because they dislike the game. I think it's
No.
because this isn't Johto.
Yeah, and I believe that the stuff we saw in the last direct, I believe that was still hints. I don't think they were just trolling us. I think they're still hinting at something. It just wasn't going to be revealed right now.
Yeah, I mean, I still think we are going to have, instead of straight up remakes, we're going to have the Let's Go series. And it's going to, Let's Go Eevee, Johto, or what have you. And I'm fine with that. That game's actually not that bad. I don't know why people crap on that one too. I like it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I actually did like a speed run through it to try to get legitimate foreign dittos,
I did a Nuzlocke on that thing.
I enjoy it. Like, I love seeing all the Pokemon pop up in the wild, and I love the fact that they're shiny when they're shiny.
My oldest son actually this is the first Pokemon game by himself he has gone all the way through by himself. He is at the Indigo Plateau.
Oh, awesome.
He can get through about 2 of the Elite Four, and then meh. And I looked at him and said, "What the hell? Why are you so low leveled? Did you just like skip all the trainers?" No. Okay, well, you still need a Moonstone to evolve your Nidoran. So fly his butt back and start walking, having him walk towards Mount Moon, and he starts to go around somebody. What are you doing? No, just go in front of him. He skipped everything. We go into Mount Moon, see 2 Pokeballs sitting right out the gate. I was like, dude, go back to Pallet Town and just walk around this damn map before you go back to the Indigo Plateau.
That's funny.
It was funny. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing with Pokemon Unite. It's a free game to start. I mean, if you want to play competitive with it, you're going to have to drop some coin on it eventually, but that's with every MOBA right now. And you don't have to. It's not anything. And it's not going to be, I doubt, well, maybe it'll be something that we play competitively at Worlds, who knows. I mean, they started doing it with freaking Pokemon Go, for God's sakes.
They do it with Pokemon Go and they do it with Pokken. I fully believe that there's going to be teams playing against each other at Pokemon Worlds.
I don't even know why they do it with Pokken. It's a cool game. It's a cool concept. But literally, people were registering to play in the Pokken tournament at Worlds so they could bypass the spectator restrictions and get in.
Yeah, I know.
And there was still openings. And I think the biggest barrier for Pokken is they're not having a juniors and seniors division. Now, with this type of game, being that it's violence, I have a feeling it would be the same thing. It's only going to be your Masters division again.
Well, yeah, I mean, probably. I think the reason Pokken's rated
it's also going to get a higher rating though because it has loot box mechanics. So it's automatically going to, especially in Europe, it's going to get a higher rating. So that's going to preclude your juniors and seniors.
True. I mean, we don't know for sure that it has loot box mechanics. It's just going to have some kind of in-app purchases. Whether you have to like purchase the specific Pokemon, like you might get the base 10 and then they're like, okay, well, if you want Mewtwo, that's $20 for Mewtwo. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe some of our European listeners can enlighten me on this, but I do believe just even having that aspect to it does raise the rating on the PEGI scale. So,
okay.
Again, I'd have to research it. It literally just popped in my head as we were talking about this, about the ratings.
Okay.
So that would be something we'd have to look into. But if anybody in the European audience hears this and wants to comment, please do so wherever you're indulging on this. Or you can, yell about it on Facebook or something. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, Pokemon Direct, that was a big bust. And I think it's if they would have released that information the week before during the other Direct, I think it would have been well received. But having its own thing, I think that kind of
Right. I think it was worth announcing, but I don't think it was worth the hype they gave it. Like, we didn't need that 10 minutes of gameplay. They could have just added it to the end of the other Direct. Like, or no, it was like 5 minutes of gameplay. You could have had like, and now for the final thing we've been working on, and had like 3 minutes, given it 3 minutes, gave us a 15, 18 minute Nintendo Direct in 1 week, and then
be done.
Called it a day.
Call it a day, folks.
The Direct where they released Pokemon Sleep, I'm pretty sure that was pretty long. It was like over 20 minutes.
So it's not like a 45-minute one, I thought, if I remember right.
Oh, maybe.
Because there was a lot of stuff.
I remember it was really long.
Yeah, and I still haven't seen Pokemon Sleep yet.
They're sleeping on it.
We got Pokemon Brush Your Damn Teeth, but we don't got Pokemon
Yeah.
Sleep.
Pokemon Raise Your Kids.
Raise your kids. Raise your kids. Did you listen to the Social Liability podcast this week?
No, yeah, I saw the title though, so I'm definitely gonna. Yeah. That's why I was in my brain.
So, yeah, Pokemon Direct's a bust. What do you got on the shopping block next for us, Ducky?
Next, and basically the final thing is Pokemon released details on how they're going to handle the 2021 championship season.
Well, that's not the final thing, but I'll let you lead off with it. So go ahead.
So the way they're doing it, which I think is pretty like an innovative way, and it kind of solves most of the issues, is it's going to be a 4-day event, not a 3-day event. Day 1 is going to be players who qualified for Worlds in 2020 before the season ended. Day 2 is going to be players who qualified during the 2021 season. And then they're going to combine the qualifiers from both of those tournaments. Who knows how many points you're going to have to get to make it to Day 3. But they're going to combine.
We won't know that until we know the numbers for invitees.
Right. Usually, I think it's about 70. It used to be a guaranteed like 72. But ever since they made it so you only need a certain amount of points, it could go up to like somewhere in the high 80s, low 90s sometimes.
Yeah, I think they really need to go back to a set number instead of last minute. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? We have too many players and nonsensical stuff that happens every time.
That does happen, but like it's kind of not fair if I won 6 games and I don't get in, but that guy who won 6 games got in. All because my opponent dropped out in round 1 or round 2, So like I kind of see why they do it, but at the same time, it does create some sketchy thing, some weird things going on for Day 2 because there's no consistency.
Well, that and you all of a sudden all the high end players are all doing freaking algebra trying to determine if they should play the next game or they should drop, but I gotta get this guy to drop with me. Which I think is totally against the spirit of the game, but you'll never get anybody else in the competitive community to agree with me.
Yeah, I get it, but if the best way to fix that is to change the rule and make it illegal, but there's really no way
they should
to do it.
They absolutely should. And let's compare it to baseball. Did you ever heard of a baseball team coming out and saying, "Yeah, it's in our best interest to not play this game, so we're gonna just forfeit"?
Well, it's not forfeiting. If they were going to guaranteed to get into the World Series, if they tied the other team and the other team's like, "Yeah, let's tie," don't you think they would tie?
No, it's against the rules.
Oh,
And also, guess what? The fans would storm the field and wring their necks.
But here's what I'm saying. They're gonna tie either way. Do you know? You get what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna sit there at the table then and play, but they're gonna tie. If tying is in their best interest, they're gonna tie.
And I'm just personally disgusted by it. Play the game.
I know.
Play the game.
There's no way around it though.
Play the game. It's manipulating, and I'm totally against it. But we've had this discussion in the past. We are not going to agree on it. So,
I'm not saying I don't agree with you. I'm just saying like there wouldn't be a way to even enforce it.
with a stick.
Maybe if we had sticks and we could hit the players that get ties, then
No, the ones that we clearly know what they're doing.
oh, see.
Here's the news flash, folks. The people
Table
that play
one, table two,
Pokemon,
and table three all tied.
no.
They're
The people that play Pokemon cannot act. They are the worst liars in the world. That is all there is to it, and I can smell them a mile away. You're not slick, folks. When you go over into the corner and you have this little conversation with the person you're paired with, you're not being slick. Everyone knows what you're doing.
Yeah, but I don't even think they're trying to be slick because it's not against the rules.
You know what? Why don't you just go break your other arm?
I didn't break my arm.
So I want you to break the other one.
All right, day one, 2020 players. Day two, 2021 players. Day three is going to be a combination of both, and then probably some of the top cut. And then day four will be the rest of the top cut in the championships. Sometimes day four is just championships. Yeah. It all depends.
Yeah, I think that actually happened the last time we had one. What year that was.
2019.
Yeah, I think because I think that is on Sunday. It was just the championship games, and that's all.
And they stream every single one of them.
Yeah, because I think
that's how they usually like to do it, but this is probably going to be weird.
We sat down and we watched the juniors and the seniors, and I think I left before the Masters, and I watched the Masters. Yeah, I listened to it because I was driving on Twitch as we were heading home. But yeah, it was definitely a cool experience seeing them actually do that live. But I can't imagine, the chaos that was going on backstage. At least on that final day, they said we got 6 players. We're good. We can handle it. But having to do top cut and everything, oh geez, I can't imagine.
Yeah. So what's that? The mystery next thing you have on the docket for us?
Did you get your shiny Zorora?
Yes. Oh yeah. I did.
So yeah, shiny Zorora came out because we collectively, as the community of Pokemon, defeated the Zorora raid over 1 million times.
Do you think they would have released it if we didn't?
Yes. It would have been, good try, trainers. Here you go.
I bet they would have just said we did it. Who knows? Maybe we didn't do it.
They just made it up.
Right.
So yeah, we breached it. We actually breached it pretty quick as a community, and they ended up releasing the shiny Zorora. But it's so convoluted the way you got to do it. You have to, if you haven't experienced this yet, you might as well, because you'll get a free Zorora, whether you defeated one or not. So you have to have Sword and Shield on your Switch. You have to have Pokemon Home on your Switch. You have to also have Pokemon Home on a mobile device, whether that be an iPad, iPhone, Android phone, what have you. Doesn't matter. So you have to go into Pokemon Home, because Pokemon Home on mobile devices and on the Switch, completely different applications. Yes, you can still see the Pokemon, but there's different things you can do on both of them, which I don't understand why that is. But nevertheless, it is. So you go in, you collect your mystery gift in the mobile version. After you've transferred something from Sword and Shield into the Switch version, and then you can go back to the Switch version and transfer your shiny Zorora into Sword and Shield. There's flowcharts for this, folks.
Yeah.
So that whole nonsensical thing happens, but when it does happen, there's also an update to Sword and Shield. And this update changes the raids and does all that. Unfortunately, what happened was they did the new promoted raids, and they released the wrong items.
Yeah.
So we got a list of new items in like Isle of Armor, one of which is called Armorite Ore. And we know for a fact that there's going to be similar items found in the Crown Tundra. Why do we know this, you ask, Duck?
Data mine.
No, because when people
yeah.
beat the raid tried to give them as a reward this item from the Crown Tundra, which has not been introduced into the Sword and Shield code yet. So what happened, Duck?
Crashed.
It happened to you.
Yeah, it did.
And you even knew it was there, and you still did it.
I know. You told me about the raid thing. I'm like, okay, that's good to know. I'll have to talk about that on the podcast. And then
you forgot to talk about it on the podcast, and then you went into the stupid raid anyway, and you crashed your game.
Yeah, and I saw the question mark little item pop up that it doesn't have a graphic yet. So the game's like, I don't know what this is. Here you go.
I'm just gonna die now.
Yep.
So yeah, the game's crashed left and right. Plus, I guess everyone was trying to get their Zoroark at the same time, so Pokemon Home crashed.
Oh, I didn't have any problems with.
Oh, I did.
I remember that night. I was talking. We were chatting live that night.
I was sending you screenshots. I was like,
yeah, I know.
Look at this crap. I can't get it. And it just gave me this stupid error code. And then finally it came up. We're undergoing emergency maintenance. No kidding.
Is the raid thing fixed with Sword and Shield yet?
I don't know. I haven't played.
I couldn't believe it was still messed up from when you had told me about it. From when I got my game crashed.
Well, I think they were so fixated on fixing Pokemon Home that they're like, okay, we got that fixed. There's another fire over there.
I hope it's fixed by now. I actually completed the team I was trying to build, so I haven't been.
Well, I'm home all day tomorrow. I am home all day tomorrow. And since it is actually a holiday, I don't have to worry about getting called into work. Because being that I am so essential, the damn city cell phone just rings on my days. I don't remember a day I haven't got a call on a Friday. So our chat's telling us that the raid is fixed. They've been doing it just fine. So great. Glad to hear it. So tomorrow I'm going to be working on something. Not sure what. I might be working on my puppy farm. Because that's what I've been doing. I've been breeding Eevees left and right and trade them on Wonder Trade. So if you do Wonder Trade boxes, you may get an Eevee from me. I feel like I run a puppy mill. I swear. But I will probably be on there doing some stuff. So I expect you to be on there since you're home recuperating.
It's not by choice. I'm not allowed to work on Monday now.
You got kicked home, son.
Yeah. Because apparently I look like an idiot trying to use a screwdriver left-handed.
I mean, it sounds stupid, but I really want to see it. Because it's got to look ridiculous. Because when you told me that, I was like, I wonder if I could screw something with my left hand. I mean, I've tried doing other things with my left hand, and it just didn't work out well. So
when you use a screwdriver left-handed, it feels like somebody else is doing it.
I know, right? Oh god, we're in a podcast about Pokemon. I gotta keep reminding myself that.
Yeah, I can't believe I just said that.
In one of our other podcasts, no, it was the Mount Moon Review podcast where you actually swore, and we had to write down the date on the calendar.
Oh yeah, I called somebody the B word.
Well, I can tell you that we do make every attempt to keep it somewhat family oriented, but we do have this disclaimer at the beginning of the podcast telling everybody that it's not intended for people under the age of 13, mostly because YouTube, but it's also the fact that we don't want people scarring their children for life about hearing, a bearded painter call somebody a bitch. That being said, you can check out our other podcasts, such as the Untitled Anime Show, which will be making its return here very soon, I hope. Yeah. And you can also listen to the Social Liability Podcast, which I can assure you is not kid-friendly at all. Please don't listen to the Social Liability Podcast with your children. Especially episode 5. I may have got a little riled up.
Ooh.
Yeah. But that being said, Duck, you can get followed. People can follow you on Twitter at Blue Duck Gold Duck. It's Blue Duck Gold Duck without the E. They can follow you on Facebook at Blue Duck Gold Duck. Again, Blue Duck Gold Duck without the E. Unfortunately, I am not as easy because I have my Twitter account is _Raspberry01. You can catch me on Facebook at _Raspberry01 without the underscore. You can look for us on YouTube. It's just by searching the Mount Moon Crew. And that is where you'll find all of our content, whether it be the Mount Moon Review Podcast, Shenanigans, the Mount Moon Extras, the Social Liability Podcast, the Untitled Anime Show. Oh my God, it almost sounds like we do this for a living.
But we don't.
We don't. We don't at all. In all of our family of pods and all of our content, I've never made a dime. Why? Because we don't inundate you with ads. Because we love you, and no one's offered us yet. But rest assured, someday you will be annoyed by us giving you ads for, your latest home
Blue
meal,
Apron.
for Blue Apron and
Casper mattresses.
and Casper mattresses and hymns and
Yeah.
and Blue Chew
And Squarespace.
Squarespace. But nevertheless, if you want to listen to the audio version of all of our shows, you can do so on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and any other number of podcasting platforms. That being said, do you have anything else for us this week, Duck?
Nope, that's it.
Well, I'd like to thank everyone listening to our abbreviated Mount Moon Review podcast, and tune in next week for something astonishing. Astonishing. How many podcasts, let alone Pokemon podcasts, make it for an entire year's worth of content? Next week, folks, is our 1 year spectacular. I don't know if there will be anything spectacular about it. Duck says he's working on stuff, so if it's not spectacular, please blame Duck. And with that, I'm just going to say, Duck, get us out of here.
All right, guys. Until next time, just remember, if it's too good to be blue, it's probably gold.
Have a week.
Just because your card is magic, you think you're safe because you killed my life orb. Baby, do you dare to not flinch? Cause I'm coming at you like a dark pulse. I know you're gonna throw. You're gonna throw a star. But I got that lucky chance. There's no critical hits.